SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We are previewing Week 4 in college football here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are talking right now with returning guest Troy West from allplayswin.com. Troy West, thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks a lot, Pete. You know, we got to pick up our slack a little bit in the colleges, at least on the SBR Videos. We did have a winning week for the website, but I'm ready to pick it up here and start getting some sweeps here on the board in the college videos, Pete.
Yeah, give a plug for allplayswin.com. How'd you do in college last week?
Hey, in college, we were up 14 units. One of the plays we gave out was Louisville minus 13.5 on the videos. That line was all over the place. So if you won, great. If you lost, I do apologize. But, tough loss with Alabama last week. We're rolling right now. We're picking at a high rate in both sports. You know, college right now, we're at a very low 60. NFL, we're picking up into the mid-60s. We're going to continue to roll. We feel real good about as we progress through the season where we're at as a company. Come take a look. 24/7 customer service is what you're going to get with us all the time. Come give us a call anytime. I'm excited to talk to people. We win, and all we do is win, Pete.
That sounds great. You know, you went 4-3 against the spread in the 7 videos you covered with us last week. I guess you consider that to be sort of a down week. If I go 4-3 in any week, I'm already looking at beachfront properties, assuming I'm going to do that every week. Then the next week I go 3-4. Then I'm like, maybe not. All right, we're going to talk about South Dakota State at Nebraska right now. Now, this is a tough game. I'm kind of surprised you picked it. Nebraska is a 21.5-point home favorite, and of course, Nebraska coming off of the huge loss to UCLA, and then also all the drama and the issues with the audio of Pelini coming out saying, fuck the fans or whatever it is that he said. So, and then they're playing South Dakota State. Now, South Dakota State is one of the top FCS teams. They're ranked in the top 10. They played in 2010, lost by only 14. So normally, I would be leaning towards South Dakota State getting all these points, 21.5. But the situation for Nebraska, this might be a big bounce-back situation. You know, Pelini's telling the guys that he wants them to have more fun on the field. What does that mean? That means you run up the score against overmatched opponents. So normally, I'd be leaning towards South Dakota State plus 21.5 here. But because of the situation, I'm a little bit hesitant. What do you think, Troy West?
Yeah, I'm actually going to roll with Nebraska. At first instinct, you kind of look at this game, you're going, it's not a game you want to bet. But all signs point Nebraska. As you mentioned, Pete, good point. 2 years ago, they played the South Dakota State team, and South Dakota State almost nipped them in the ass. They almost beat them. I had the opportunity to be at that game. Nebraska was a complete no-show. South Dakota State was all fired up, almost beat them. Nebraska knows that going into this one. Some of those players are still on that team. You're coming off a game where you had UCLA 21-3, and you lose by 20. I think this team has to get up for this game. You know, on paper, South Dakota State does not have Big Ten-type talent. They do not have a coach like Bo Pelini. They're not at home. They have to go on the road. I know it's a bus ride into Nebraska, but all signs got to point Nebraska to blow this South Dakota State team out. They just have to. I think Pelini, this will tell a lot about his character, his team's toughness. If they can't beat a South Dakota State team by 3 touchdowns and more, there's something seriously wrong. But I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to take Nebraska to pull their heads out of their ass. Let's go with Nebraska to win this one big.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the, the reasons that a lot of these FCS teams cover is a lot to do, I think, with motivation. You know, the FBS teams don't have the motivation to get the big, margin wins that the spreads are giving them credit for. But I guess if they had the motivation to do it, we would see a lot fewer covers by the FCS teams. And I guess this is one of those situations. Or do you think that it's just, the line overestimates the talent discrepancy, and there's not really a huge talent discrepancy between teams like South Dakota State, a top FCS team, and a team like Nebraska?
Yeah, I do think there is a talent discrepancy. In years past, if Nebraska was 3-0 and they've blown out everybody, and now they get a lousy South Dakota State team coming in, I think maybe it could be a letdown game for Nebraska, and you could see this one a little bit tighter. But I don't think that's the case. Coming off a 20-point loss, South Dakota State, they know is a good football team. They're going to be ready to play, and I do think they win this one by 4 touchdowns.
All right, but you think South Dakota State is really lousy, though? They're currently ranked number 6 in the FCS.
I think it's lousy when they come in and have to play a Big Ten team, and not just a Big Ten team, a Big Ten respectable team. This isn't Minnesota. This isn't Iowa. This is Nebraska. Nebraska has to come to play in this one. I don't think you can put South Dakota State in the same sentence, in the same level as a good Big Ten team. They're not quite there. I apologize for calling them lousy.
No.
But they were playing the top 5 Big Ten team. They're lousy.
Hey, We try to keep it as real as possible at Inside the Lines here at SBRForum Videos. Listen, in light of how well the FCS teams have done this year against the spread, this will be a very impressive pick if Nebraska does get a relatively easy cover. It makes me nervous. We'll see. Troy West from allplayswin.com likes Nebraska, minus 21.5. Thanks, Troy.